this video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you need to do solo traveling right now. Let's start with the first one. And the first reason is meeting interesting people. There are basically so many other solo travelers out there that have so many different stories and backgrounds and reasons why they're doing this trip. Like, some people are just taking a break from work. Some people, they completely quit and try to live a different lifestyle, try to move to a different country. Like, so many different reasons and ways on how they afforded to travel that way. So my last solo trip that I went to, I met someone that told me he was working as a gardener and saved up as much money as he could so he could travel for 6 months in Asia, especially in countries that were like cheaper than where he was from, in Switzerland. And that was so inspiring for me to hear, because I feel like on social media oftentimes we see those travel bloggers and that seem to have so much money to be just like traveling around and staying in like nice resorts and all that kind of stuff. And I think traveling and staying in hostels, which is pretty cheap, sharing your room and stuff, it can also be very uncomfortable in the beginning, doing that for the first time, staying with strangers and stuff. But it's so affordable that any person can do it. You just need to put your mind into it and see how you can save money or where you can get the cheapest flights to, booking stuff in advance. You just need to look how much money you make and how you can use that for you and not be stuck in thinking like, oh, I could never afford this and I could never do this. Because meeting those other solo travelers that might even make less money than you, but they just know their way to get around like the very expensive fees or like the tourist traps. And that was really inspiring to me and made me realize that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. The second reason is your own personal growth. Because solo traveling is probably out of your comfort zone, this will push you to your limits, but in a positive way. After you return from your trip, there will be so many beneficial lessons that you learned during that trip, and it's going to be so worth it. And that's why I always see traveling as an investment in yourself, because it's not just that you spend a big amount of money, but it's more about the connections that you made and those experiences that made you a better person, that were able to increase your courage. The next reason is learning about yourself, meaning you're going to learn what you like and what you don't like. And you might probably be already aware of these, or you might not, but on this trip you're definitely going to learn that, because especially if you meet up with other strangers, you will notice, oh, that person's kind of annoying, because maybe they remind you of a certain specific person at work or something, or some people that you enjoy to be surrounded with because they give you energy. And also spending time alone. And that already brings me to my next point, and that would be reinventing yourself. Being at home, being surrounded by the same people, they know previous versions of you, so it's really difficult to wake up, okay, I'm going to do everything different now, and they're just going to be like, what's going on with you? And yeah, so because no one of these people here know you, you're able to do anything. You could tell any kind of story, and the good thing about this is, like, they don't know what's true and what's not. So you can just make up a story. If that helps you be more comfortable, be more confident, that is something that you should definitely do until you're able to kind of like be comfortable enough. My next reason is being able to reflect on your life, meaning every kind of connection that you have, your work, because you meet all these interesting people and you hear their stories and their meaning of life. Maybe that will help you find your meaning of life, because they're like a very different kind of people. Because the people that I was surrounded by, they were not as much into traveling. They would always say they want to travel, but they were not willing to spend as much money on traveling as I would. So that's how I started solo traveling, because you meet so many other people that are like-minded, and it's gonna be so worth it. And being able to reflect on your life and seeing like, okay, maybe the career that I chose is not really the career that I want to be working in. After you meet all these people and you're like, maybe I'm more into, I don't know, like plants and being a gardener or something instead of being a part of the corporate world. It could be anything, but that way you're going to be able to view your life from a different kind of perspective. So my last point, this one is one of my favorites too, and that is networking. Networking on an international scale is going to be so worth it. You're going to learn so much from the people that are local there. Like they can give you advice, tips on what to do and how I do that. I usually look up any kind of websites that offer like local events, and they usually have a lot of free local events too, and of like people that want to start their business, people in the art industry, any kind of thing. And if you sign up to those things, you're able to network with them, connect with them through LinkedIn or Instagram. And that way, if you return to that place, you could meet up with them. Or if these people want to visit you in your country, it's going to be a nice exchange, especially if those are people working in the same fields as you. You can learn so much from them. And that's going to put you ahead of so many other people working in maybe in the same industry, because they don't have that global mindset that you have. I hope y'all liked this video, and it was a little bit of a different scenery here in Singapore at the beach and recording while sunset, so I'm really grateful for that. I hope you liked this video and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Edit.